Hello guys and welcome to VollGazzRacing Season 12 Division 1 Round 3 in Brno. It is the first sprint for Division 1 this season, the first of 3. 5-minute qualifying for these guys today, and with it being a 2-minute lap time, it simply means you've got to get that banker lap in. You've only got 2 attempts at it. Just 2, maybe even 1 if they don't get out of the box in time. So, current champion and championship leader VTR, and unfortunately we are experiencing some network issues for some riders. I think mainly it's roll. Hang on, there's meant to be 15. Somebody's turned. Okay, yeah. So people are suffering with network issues, unfortunately. So people are disconnecting constantly and things like that in the party. Hopefully, though, in terms of the actual race, everything will turn out fine. But everybody's in the lobby, unless anyone's been forgotten. So, VTR, I'll go back to him. Practiced quite a bit this weekend. 48 flat is the best time I've seen. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be good. But apparently, the midfield battle is going to be extremely strong. So, hopefully, that can remain the same. But Fadley's only just left the pit, so he's only going to get 1 lap. He's going to get 1 lap at this. So Fadley's got to do he's got a lot of pressure on himself. He's only got 1 lap. So I wish him all the best of luck, because yeah, he could be starting last if he's not careful. So we go to Horsepower Hill. VTR is going to be the first rider to cross the line. Reps wisely using VTR as a marker. Reps is qualifying not to be desired, but his race pace certainly can be. So across the line to start the opening lap of this session. Just 2 laps for these guys. Hard front, medium rear for VTR. Hard front offering stability in braking, as well as maintaining a good temperature. The soft front probably better overall, but I'd imagine the wear and the heat cycle is too much of a problem for just 1 single lap around this place, given how long the track is in length, and as well all the long hanging corners and the temperature it can provide. Anyway, into the second sector now, down the hill in towards turn 5. Nice tight entry line, taking it wide as you go back into turn 6. Running the inside curb, and now into the hairpin of turn 7. You're going to be using the curb again, making a V sort of, put it back for the late apex. A little bit of a wheelie from the Prix, which we've seen since this game came out. Into the chicane through turns 8 and 9, and we get to the second sector point. All VTR just clipping the inside curb down the white line, unfortunately meaning that he's lost probably a tenth or 2. Nick Jumping's gone down on his opening lap, down in towards Kevin Schwant's corner of turn 10. Big shake on the front end of VTR, but it's nice and controlled as we now start to go back up the rise into the chicane of turn 11 and 12 before we head up to Horsepower Hill. Aaron Jacko has gone down on his opening lap, so he'll have just 1 more to go. VTR on the exit curve, that's going to cost him a tenth or so, especially given how important the run is up the hill into the final chicane. A little bit down on the inside curb. I don't think you want to hit the curb at this corner, given the way it's angled. Around the final corner, up to the line, a little bit of a wheelie. It's going to be a 1:49.1. So everybody's now finally through. Oh, and Fadley's gone. I think that's Schmoy's. No, I think Fadley's gone down on his 1 and opening lap. So Fadley is not going to be qualifying well. Nelson goes into second. Schmoy's goes 5th. Where's the rest? Hulikar. There's so many people coming across the line now. Nick Jumping, Craig, Jack Berman. It's going to be so hard to keep up. Hulikar up to the line. Finley goes into 8th. Hulikar jumps to 2nd. VTR's had the best opening lap, and he's improving on it as well. Howling goes into third place. Brilliant opening lap for Howling, despite his network issues. And that is a very interesting hammer, I have to say. Quite a fan of that. So Fadley, he will be starting, not last actually, he'll be starting second last, as Amir Tahifa has not even got out of the box. He's not set a lap time and he's returned to the box. So Aaron improving in sector 1, he needs to recover his crash. Finley's lap is gone. Rolls is improving. Hulikar's gone down, that's his session over. So sectors flying everywhere, mostly grey. Only Rolls currently is on a personal best sector. In the personal best lap, personal best first and second sector. Can't get my words out. Actually, there's so many things going on in my head. As we now go to the chicane of turn 11 and 12, we saw many riders crash, touching the sausage curb on the inside there, because you do need to use that inside curb because of how much positive camber there is on it and the amount of grip it can provide. But he's Rolls again on the grass. Is a massive stoppy. I don't think this is going to be an improvement unless the final cut. Oh yeah, and it's gone. I think he's run out of fuel actually. No, he's just got out of the way. Reps across the line's not able to improve. Nelson's gone down at the final corner. Aaron Jacko's gone down as well. It's all gone horribly wrong for most people. Schmoyes, Jack Berman. Yeah, so that is all. That's all she wrote for most people. So Jack Berman will be the last rider to cross the line to end this chaotic sprint qualifying. So, oh, and he's on Max Biaggi, he actually fell off. So VTR is on pole position once again for a third time in a row, I think. Hulikar is second. Howling Siege is best qualifying on MotoGP 23 in third place on board the Prima Pramac Racing Ducati. Jack Berman in fourth. Craig in fifth. Nelson sixth. Fellow reps of Honda rider reps in seventh. Rolls eighth. Schmoyes ninth. Finley rounds at the top 10. Ahead of Aaron Jacko, Nick jumping, with Fadley and Amir starting in the back, not even setting a lap time. So 25% race, so this will be 5 to 6 laps long. It'll be 5.5, so I think they'll push to 6 laps in my mind. So sprint race. I was told by a couple of people what their tyre choices are going to be. However, I do believe they've done some testing with some other tyre combinations, and it's going to be interesting to see which tyres are chosen. The rear tyre, I think I know what the answer is going to be for that one. However, the front can be quite open. I don't think a soft will be. It'd be interesting if a soft shoes, because the soft could be really strong in the opening 2 laps, but it will fall off the cliff. However, if they run a medium or a hard, the wear will be there, but just which tyres better suits someone's riding style. But riders are now readying up. Craig, Rolge and Fadley, the 3 remaining riders to ready up in this session before we can get the first sprint of Division 1 underway. Rolge ready's up, just Craig and Fadley, now the 2 of the GP22 bikes. Everyone's ready? Let's get going.
Riders have completed the warm-up lap and are lined up on the grid. Just a few moments more and the Czech Grand Prix will begin.
So VTR on pole position. Can he convert it into a sprint victory? Who's the car running hard? Let's see what VTR's running. I think I can't quite. That's a medium rear. The front I can't really tell. We've got lights are on. VTR starts are notoriously woeful, and today's the same thing. And Craig gets the launch, one of the best launches off the line, and Reps is going to go around the outside. So we go into turn 1. It's contact quite a bit everywhere, but they all get through turn 1. Oh, VTR does have a hard rear end, apparently, it turns out. So it is going to be Craig who leads the riders out of turn 2, heading towards turn 3. The hardest braking. Oh, and someone's on the grass there. Oh, and Aaron's gone down. Aaron's gone down on the straight. And Finley, I think, went down at turn 1 potentially. So, whoa! And that's Schmoyes who's gone down, and one of the Ducatis went straight. I think that's Hulikar went straight on at the corner as well. So, order resumes. Is Craig, Jack, Rolge, Howling, and VTR your top 5 as we enter the second sector now? Riders jostling for position, trying to get... Oh, and Schmoyes has gone down for a second time. Amir's gone down as well. The factory Ducatis have had an absolute nightmare. Oh, and Howling's been forced wide by VTR, and the Dutchman is forced to concede the position and is in front of his compatriot Nelson. Hard tyres and medium tyres used by a lot of riders, and Nelson did a classic Valentino Rossi move at the chicane on the flip-flop into turn 9. Fantastic stuff by the former two-time champion, as VTR looks to try and go up the inside of his teammate. Rolls just going to use him as a berm to turn underneath. Rolls is going to get the cutback though. But I think he's going to... Oh, and Hulico has gone down, and that's... I think that is Schmoyes again off going gravel track, going on the gravel in the background. And Howling retakes... Oh! Roll just gone down at turn 12. Howling's retaking the position from Nelson. At the front is Craig and Jack holding position. Ducati, Aprilia. Ducati reps, tries to pass Nelson at the penultimate corner, but runs wide, and the Dutchman retakes 5th place. So we end lap number 1. Here comes Jack and the slipstream, side by side they go, heading towards the opening corner, the long radius, turn 1. Jack Bowen takes the lead for the first time, but Craig is hitting it back underneath the Cressini Racing Ducati, and Craig, the number 58, holds on to the lead. But Jack's going to have the slipstream. You've got to be careful of VTR as well. This battling, just even though he's got such a pace advantage anyway, is going to allow him to get round the coattails of these two through turn 3 and now into turn 4. These two had a really big battle in Estoril last week. I feel like we could be getting some more into turn 5. Jack's ran a bit hot in the slipstream. That's just going to give VTR an easy pass. And there goes VTR into second. He doesn't have to... Oh, and Jack is on the grass as well. So VTR not having to work for the move. He's on the hard. But yeah, VTR, his life has been made a little bit easier there by Jack's mistake. And he's got all the... He's only 5 laps this race though, so he's got time on his side, but he's just got to wait for the move to... Oh, Nelson's gone down at the chicane. Where he passed Howling a lap ago, it's all gone wrong. And here comes VTR looking up the inside of Craig like he did to Rolls last time round, but Craig strong on the brakes, taking a tight defensive line, not allowing the championship leader any way through. Craig hasn't taken a victory since Kota last season, round 2. Howling holding on to these guys. This is definitely the strongest performance we've seen from Howling since his return to league racing. He's had podiums, but they've been podiums where he's been like over 10-15 seconds off the podium on pure merit pace. Whereas this time he's holding on to them. He's got... Whoa, Jack getting round the inside of the curb, somehow just about stayed on. But Howling, he's now in the clutch of Howling. Howling is only 2.5 tenths behind. He's in slipstream range. Probably going to be using power 3, trying to get as close as he can to the Cressini Ducati. But he's just not on that range yet. He's got to make sure he does not break himself in the slipstream, which is so easy to do on this game. It's ridiculous with the dirty air effect. Oh, Nick Jumping's gone down at the chicane. We've got another faller. And now that puts the RNF Aprilia rider down into 12th. Craig Cutler, oh, he's had a big... He's holding his own, but he's had a massive shake on the front end. And VTR is now all over the back of the Mooney VR46 Ducati. And he's going to try and turn it underneath, but Craig's he's seen it coming, he's taking it tight. He's not letting the Aprilia rider through. Oh, contact between Amir and Rolge. Craig's ran really wide through turn 8, but he's just defended the line enough through turn 9. And now VTL's going to have the slipstream, he's going to pull to the inside, surely. To send it up the inside at Kevin Schwantz. He's lined him up, he's on the brakes, he's braked a lot deeper. Is he going to run wide? He does. Can Craig get it back? Contact between the two. VTR's got the inside line for turn 11, and VTR is into the lead of the race. But Craig's going to send it in the chicane, using the curb, using the berm. I said he's got positive camber. Now he's got the slipstream up Horsepower Hill. He's going to use power 3 surely into the... He's got to send it. He's got to send it. No, he's not all the bikes. The bike's protested in the slipstream. VTR's got a much better line for the exit of this chicane as we start the penultimate lap of this sprint race. Down the home straight, heading towards turn 1. VTR. This is the position he wanted to be in the whole time. He was patient. He waited for the opportunity to present itself, and once it did, he snatched it with both hands. As Rolled and Fadley battling it. Oh, and Amir barges his way past Fadley at turn 1. Rolls runs wide, and Amir takes a pair of them. Oh, Rolls getting on the grass. Big shake there as we go to Howling. Trying to get to Howling. He's right on the back of Jack Berman now. What can the Flying Dutchman do? Into turn 5, he's going to send it up the inside. Oh, there's contact. And he's forced his way through, but Jack's going to try. He's going to give it to him back. Give him the receipt. And Jack retakes the position. All fair play between these two. Oh, and Aaron's gone down again. It's a disaster for the reigning Division 2 champion. Oh, and Jack hits the inside grass there. Oh, and Fadley's gone down. Big error for Fadley. Rolled in the last points pay position, but he's got Hulikov behind him, who's definitely got pace. VTR already extending the gap to 1.4 seconds, so it's an incredible pace that VTR's got over everyone today. We're just going to keep an eye on that gap with Howling and Jack Berman, because I have a sense we haven't seen the last of Howling's attempts at the podium today. Oh, and Rolls went wide at turn 11. Oh, he's at the curb! Oh my lord, Hulikov is so lucky. How he didn't go down there, I don't know. Is Nick Jumping and Finley battling out for the top 9 places? As we go to Howling now, he's in the slipstream of the Grassini Ducati. He's looking to go round the outside. Jack just pulled out in front of him. But now it's all about who can get the best run out of turn 1 through turn 2 and down the back straight, heading towards the long straight down towards turn 3. Here comes Howling. He's gaining. He's going to send up the inside once more. But he's round wide, and Jack Berman got cuts underneath him and retakes the position. So we now go into turn 4. Howling attacked Jack into turn 5 last time round. Can he do it again? He's going for it so late on the brakes. And he's got it stopped. Jack's going to turn it really, really tight there to get it back underneath. The two make contact. They just about hold on. Howling's got the better line, and Howling's taking the position. Refs has gone down. Jack Berman's hugging the inside line, and he forces his way back underneath Howling, but Howling's not going to let this go. Can he do the flip-flop like Nelson did to him earlier in the race? Not quite, but he's looking at him. He's going to set up. He's setting up the exit. He's setting up for the run down to turn 10. Look at the exit speed the Prix Racing Ducati's got. And Howling is through, but look at Jack. He's going to set it up. He's going to take the wider entry to turn it underneath the Dutchman, and Jack Berman retakes the podium place, but Howling planting on the power as early as possible to get the inside line for turn 11. Up the inside, he goes through. The two make contact, and Howling holds firm and retakes third place as they now go up Horsepower Hill for the final time. Amir Tahifa goes down. That throws Nelson back up inside the top 5. No, he doesn't. Sorry, he wasn't in the top 5. He's in the top 5 anyway. But here we go through the chicane, and I think Howling Siege is going to hold on as VTR rounds the final corner and takes the opening sprint race of the season. Craig takes a great second place, and Howling worked his socks off for his first podium of the season in third. Jack Berman has to concede. Unfortunately, his podium streak in terms of all the races is over. Nelson takes 5th. Reps holds off Hulikov for 6th. As Nick Jumping takes a final points pay position in 8th. Fadley's 9th, Amir's 10th, Rolls is 11th, Finley is 12th, Schmoyes is 13th, and Aaron Jacko rounds out the field in 14th place. What a performance. What a race, what a sprint race. And now we get to live that all over again in the longer form of 11 laps. So VTR takes the first sprint victory of the season. Craig takes 2nd, Howling in that fantastic last lap battle takes 3rd. Jack Berman's podium streak is over, but if he can finish on the podium in the feature race, he can still have feature race podium streak. Nelson is 4th, Nelson's 5th, Reps is 6th, Hulikov 7th, and Nick Jumping takes the final points pay position in 8th with Fadley in 9th. Amir rounds out the top 10 with Rolls, Finley, Schmoyes and Aaron rounding out the rest of the field. And that will also be your grid for the next race. Okay, just making sure the grid is correct. Which it is. So we can get racing for the final race of the day at Brno. So it's quite clear to see VTR, he has the greatest pace of all out of everyone by quite a margin. But if you hold him, if you get in front of him and you don't offer him the chance to easily pass you, you can hold him off. So they've got to. Prix has a notorious bad start, gets caught up in a few incidents, and that's the only way I can see victory going. Is I think if he gets past, you've got to attack him in the next corner. If not, you've lost the race. So we wait for everybody to ready up. I know Howling will be absolutely buzzing from that race. And usually when he starts buzzing, that's all it takes to give him a little bit of extra confidence. And something he's been lacking, I think, with this game. And I think if Howling can keep everything calm, I think we can get another podium from him. So, just Hulikar left to ready up. What's his tyre choice going to be? He started in second place in the sprint, and unfortunately, he's now starting in 7th. It's not the longest of runs down to turn 1. So VTR won't lose as many places in theory if he has a terrible start. That's what everyone will be hoping for, to get a small glimpse of hope that somebody else can win the race today. So here we go. Lights are on. And we are away. VTR gets a decent start, but it's going to be Craig once again, who's most likely going to lead the field into turn 1. And it is Craig and then Howling. Reps up the inside of VTR, going to try and force him wide. But the Aprilia rider holds firm. Oh, does he? No, there was a two-way contact, but VTR holds 3rd place. So we go down towards turn 3 for the first time. This is where usually incidents can take place. But everyone getting through cleanly. Oh, no, no, they're not. Roll just gone down. I think he's had contact with somebody there, possibly a fellow Aprilia rider. Was all now filed down into the 2nd sector, heading towards turn 5 for the first time. Here comes Nelson. Nelson's not shy of an overtake, but he couldn't quite get through on VTR. VTR taking a nice line through turn 5. Is able to hold off Nelson's potential attack into the hairpin of turn 7. We saw Nelson make a beautiful move and a chicane in the last race on Howling. Can he do it on VTR? I don't quite think VTR might get Howling. Oh, Howling's been, I think. Oh no, Howling's at the back of VTR and he's gone down. I think just the fact that Nelson was there as well, it just complicated things, and unfortunately Nelson, and I don't know how Nelson's actually still on it, but Howling's gone down and he's all the way, he's in 9th actually, it's not that bad. And Hulikar trying to fight in the podium positions, he's going to hold it round the outside. And him and Nelson side by side, but the Factory Ducati takes 3rd place into the podium positions, and he's running the medium rear this time, so the hard rear mustn't have been to his liking, as Nelson's going to send it up the inside into the penultimate corner. Hulikar holds it firm, nearly gets his nose cut off by VTR in front, but the Colombian is into 3rd for now. But here comes Nelson, in the slipstream of the Ducati, but he's just not able to make the move as Craig just about holds off VTRs. I think Nelson's gone extremely wide through turn 1, is forced to concede to Amir Tahifa. And now VTR pulls alongside Craig. Ducati versus Prix in a straight line. VTR up the side. Craig's holding it round the outside though, forcing VTR to take a really tight line onto the curb. It forces him wide. Brilliant tactics there by Craig. And he's just about going to hold on. Craig needs to try and get... He needs to... I think VTR's going to send up the inside into turn 5. No, he's not. But if Hulikar can get through on VTR, that's Craig's best chance. Oh, and Amir's gone down. Thankfully, oh, there are Reps. I think Reps might have hit the stricken by. Oh, Fadley's gone down as well. Multiple crashes. Right there. And Finley's now inside the top 6. Vito looking up the inside of Craig into turn 8. But he's got the outside line for turn 9. And Hulikar's got the inside line potentially, but he just can't quite get through on the Aprilia. So down the back, straight down the hill towards turn 10, the lowest point of the circuit. This is where Vito took the lead of the race at the sprint. And it's a carbon copy move. Except he doesn't run wide this time, and Craig has got no chance to fight back unless he sends it right up the inside into turn 11, which I don't think he can. He's got one more chance, I'd say, at turn 13, but I think Vito's already pulled enough of a gap, and now he's got Hulikar to deal with, who's pulling to the left hand side. Oh, and Craig's really outbroked himself into the chicane. Hulikar's got to turn it on. He's using the curb as a berm, but that really didn't work. And Craig is able to hold off the Colombian. So start lap 3, VTR leads the way, and I'd imagine that's race over for now. But you never know. VTR has made a stupid mistake. He made a stupid mistake in Estoril, but it didn't mean anything because he eventually went on to win anyway. But VTR has been susceptible to it. He's crashed in every race so far, every feature race. He crashed in Jerez in a big lead. He crashed in Estoril with a big lead. So he's not invincible, but it's just he needs to make that mistake early if he's going to make one. So the car's right at the back of Craig, and I think it's sooner rather than later the number 18 is going to go through on the Mooney VR46 Ducati. But Craig's doing a good job holding him off so far. It's Nelson. And it's the longest we've gone with without Nelson crashing all season. 3 laps in a race, and usually by this point he's probably disconnected or gone or whatever. But Nelson, he's doing a good job at the moment. Howling back inside the top 6, Jack in 5th. I don't know if you think he was probably caught up in a couple of the incidents early on. We just got to keep an eye on the gaps behind, because you can see there's a big train from Howling onwards, all within half a second of each other, apart from Smoyes. So if any of these guys make big mistakes, we could be seeing a big group forming for a podium battle potentially. I think Finley's about to fall victim to Amir Tahifa soon. But Finley's doing a great job. He's one of the only riders so far not to crash, as I've just missed Hulikar passing Craig up the inside at turn 13. Can Hulikar do anything about VTR? He's probably the second fastest rider on paper. Oh, and Aaron's gone down. It's been a disastrous race for Aaron as the other factory Ducati's passed Finley at the same corner. Oh, and Roll's just going to run really wide in turn 1, but not wide enough, as Craig and Hulikar at the front make contact, and this is giving VTR 6 tenths in hand. Hulikar slide in the rear, forces Craig up the inside, forces Craig wide. Oh, and Nelson and Craig make contact. Nelson's going to take the position round the outside at turn 4, but Craig's going to force his way back up the inside and takes the position back from Nelson. Rubbing is racing, and there definitely a lot of guys are rubbing here. Thankfully, they haven't gone down. Oh, and Finley's got... Oh, I was just saying. So Finley's gone down. He's rejoining in 12th place. VTR just eking a couple of tenths a sector. It's just... He's got such confidence in that bike, in the circuit, in every single department. Virtually unbeatable at the moment. I think the only person who can beat him is himself. So the gap between these guys, Jack and Howling, is staying pretty stable. Gaps are yo-yoing slightly, but I think more or less they're staying the same. Everyone's got very similar pace. As Reps has just passed Rolge into turn 13, the Portuguese rider. Oh, and contact between the two. And thankfully they've stayed on, and Reps is officially into 8th place as Aaron Jacko's gone down once again, and he's gone. Disastrous race for the Division 2 champion. Just it seems like he's just not getting on with the Brno circuit at the moment. Oh, and more contact between Reps and Rolge. As Craig now, again, Craig and Nelson making contact at turn 3. And Nelson's going to switch up his... Oh no! Nelson was really aggressive into turn 3, and unfortunately it's backfired on him. As he rejoins in 7th place, and he had a big spin as well, I noticed. So Nelson being really aggressive, and unfortunately Craig just could not react in time, and unfortunately the contacts ultimately went into caused Nelson's demise. Hopefully he doesn't lose his head though, because this is usually when things go horribly wrong for him. So if his head can just stay stable, calm, he can definitely still bring back a result like he did in the sprint. But just being a bit overly aggressive has costing a chance at a podium here. Hulikar's not losing too much time to VTR out front, but unfortunately the gap's already extended to the point where I think VTR is just, he can just control it and manage it how he wants. Say that though, he has just lost 3 tenths. I think VTR might just make a small error through the chicane, maybe just a bit of a slide on the bumps. Moyes and Finley are now battling for 11th as the Brit has just passed the Austrian on the Austrian manufacturer. So Mia closing in slowly but surely on Howling, just a tenth or so a lap. But this has definitely been Howling's best showing of the season and on this game so far. He'll be really proud of himself, I'd imagine, as he should be. But let's see. Oh, and Finley's gone down for a second time, and he's gone as well. Just not meant to be for Finley today, unfortunately. Let's see how these battles progress. So, Amir closing in on Howling, Jack staying with Craig. So hopefully we can start getting some more overtaking done, because the past couple of laps have been a little bit dry compared to how the sprint and the first opening laps were. Down the back straight into turn 10. Hulicar and VTR there, they are safe in first and second. They just need to bring it home. They don't make any stupid mistakes, and first and second will be theirs. I think it's clear at this moment that those two are the strongest out of the field. Fortunately, Hulicar got disconnected in Jerez, and that meant he lost 12 potentially crucial championship points in the opening round to no fault of his own. Meanwhile, Amir Tahifa is now on the back of Howling. Overtake potentially coming up at turn 3. For the long radius turn 1 onto the gas of turn 2. Howling a bit on the curve, that's going to cost a bit of drive. Now onto the brakes. You're not really going to get out brake Howling. Just got to think, you're trying to outthink him. But he's a bit of a thinker as well, so you just have to know what you're doing. As Reps and Rolge are fine. 8th place Reps. Really poor race from his standards. The Reps of the Hondas just had a bit of bad luck with crashes. We're tucked up the inside of Reps, but just can't. Oh god, can't quite retake the place. Track limits. People have got 1 or 2 track limits warnings. Apart from Fadley, actually, he's got 4 track limits warnings. So what's happened to Roll? He hasn't disconnected, has he? His control's probably disconnected. That is just. But they've got some riders who are having some extremely bad luck, unfortunately. Jack Berman's lost quite a bit of time to Craig, so he must have made some form of error. As Howling still has a meter heifer on his back wheels. We start the 8th lap, 4 to go of this Czech Republic race. The gap's just stable at 2 seconds out front. VTR doing what he needs to do, just controlling it, keeping a good pace. And Rose has ultimately disconnected. On the brakes into turn 3. There's no real difference between these 2 bikes, both GP23s. Just Prima Product Ducati versus Factory Ducati. The gap to Craig and Jack has just extended now to 0.8 of a second, so Craig just having that little bit of better late race pace currently compared to the Grassini Ducati rider. Down the hill, Schmoyes has gone down. So lots of crashes going on for people. Maybe I don't know it's just a lack of grip at this place or what, because it's not like huge changes in Cambridge, but I can imagine mistakes are easy to come by because there's a lot less room for error with the grass on the outside, and sometimes the curves can catch you out. As Jack now has dropped 4 tenths in the 3rd sector, so Howling is he's arriving, he's closing in. Could 4th place be on the cards for one of these 2? Probably have to be a big hope for them, but 1.4 seconds, it's not out of the question. VTR now 2.7 seconds out in front. Howling takes the wide line through turn 1, but then cuts it back to try and set up the perfect exit and get a great run down the back straight. One of the many back straights on the circuit. And Howling currently is just doing enough to hold off Amir from an overtaking range. As Howling now 1 second behind. Howling's got some late race pace here. As they now enter the 3rd sector point. And that gap's now under a second. Howling he's closing in and then he's bringing Amir with him. The gap to Jack and Craig is staying stable at 1 second. Oh, and Howling's run really wide at turn 10 and Amir's followed him. But Howling is definitely closing in on the 2 in front. As they go through the chicane, the gap's now 7 tenths. But Amir's closing in as well, so maybe Amir's the one who's got the strongest pace out of these 4. Potentially. But definitely Howling and Amir, they're closing in. As we start the penultimate lap of this race, VTR nearly 3 seconds out in front. Hulikov 4.3 seconds out ahead of Craig. And then these guys separated by 2 seconds. out of turn 2 down the straight heading towards turn 3. Amir's now got the slipstreams to pull into the inside, but Howling's just ultimately strong on the brakes. He's actually ran quite wide through turn 3. He's got the inside line for turn 4, and the Dutchman holds firm, and this is just going to... Oh, but Amir's got the tighter line, he's got the better exit, and the factory rider is into 5th place. So what can Amir now do for this position? He's no longer got the dirty air, and he's got some good pace as well. Who's going to win? Who's going to take the final podium spot? It should be Craig, but things are never that simple. Jack's trying to reclose the gap as well. That's now 8 tenths. Oh, Nelson's gone down on the penultimate lap at turn 8. But Finger's going to hold on to the 8th position. And Amir now just 4 tenths behind Jack Berman. Into turn 11. Ooh. Running the curve and now into turn 12. Up horsepower hill, and Reps has gone down, so 2 Repsol Hondas going down on lap 10. And Nick Jumping has managed to get ahead of Reps as well. So it was a bad day in the office for Repsol Honda. It's not been a bad day in the office though for this man on the Aprilia. VTR leads by 3.9 seconds now, ahead of Hulikar in 2nd place. Craig looks set to take 3rd place, barring any mistakes. Jack Berman, though, is under pressure for 4th. Vermeer to Heifer closing in. Howling just not got enough. What could have been for Howling if he hadn't have gone down. And for Vermeer to Heifer, to be fair. Down the back straight. Refs has gone down for a 2nd time and Fadley's, I think Fadley's, I don't actually know, I think Fadley's just gone in sympathy. So Reps has gone down twice in space for about 5 or 6 corners. Amita Heifer using all of the curb on the inside, and these guys are closing in on Craig. Craig running maybe potentially a bit tight on this final lap with a bit of pressure. Oh, and Amir runs hot. He runs hot into turn 5. Oh, Jack's hit the curb. Jack's hit the curb too much, and he's gone down. Big mistake for the Gresini Ducati rider. He drops down to 6th place, and Amir and Howling Herrick 4th and 5th, but that one mistake has probably just eased the pressure of Craig, and now Howling, who didn't have to take any avoiding action, is right on the back of Amir, but I just don't think he's in overtaking range. Craig, you just got 4 corners to negotiate to take another podium in this season. Hulikar just easing it now. Look at it, 6.4 seconds. He's just cruising around on this final lap to make sure he brings home that 2nd position. Meanwhile, out in front, it's been absolute perfection from since lap 2 or 3, since he took the lead. Only 2 track warnings to his name. VTR comes round the final corner. He wins the 3rd Grand Prix of the season. Is the 4th of the championship. He's got a 100% win record. Hulikar takes another 2nd position in the GP. Craig holds on to 3rd place. Amir takes 4th. Howling takes his first top 5 GP finish of the season. Jack Berman, after the mistake, finishes in 6th. Nelson is 7th. Nick Jumping 8th. Fadley 9th. Reps has gone down on the final lap, and that means Schmoyes is going to take the final point in 10th place, and Reps is going to go pointless in the 3rd round in Brunel. Unbelievable. So have it, VTR, another victory. Hulikar in 2nd, Craig holds off Amir and Howling for 3rd. Amir takes 4th, Howling 5th, Jack Berman after that mistake on the final lap takes 6th, Nelson 7th, Nick Jumping 8th, Schmoyes in 9th, Fadley in 10th, and Reps in 11th with Finley, Rolge and Aaron, who disconnected or retired, however you want to put it, from the race. So we will start our part for the interviews with the 3rd place man, which was Craig.
Hello.
So Craig, sprint and main race, you led through parts of it. Unfortunately, VTO was just that bit too strong, but you picked up some really strong points, 2nd and 3rd. How was the races today?
The race, the sprint, I My aim was just to, get off the lights quick before everyone else. I knew there would probably be mayhem into turn 1. But as soon as I was in the lead, for some reason I was getting nervous, even though I know I don't have the pace to win. Vitar's like in another world on his bike. And from obviously leading the race, just tried maintaining it. Vitar passed me eventually, and then from there I knew I wouldn't be able to keep with him, so I just kept up my own rhythm, tried staying on the bike, etc. And then obviously brought it home in P2. The main race, pretty much the same. I was a bit worried with the battle in with Julie. I couldn't turn in, so I had to set my bike up and things like that. There was some contact with Nelson. Nelson's already crying about that. I'll save my footage and send it in. But yeah, in the main race, just tried maintaining my rhythm again. I did see Jack obviously closing in, so I was worried about that because I know Jack's got pace. Obviously, you see his lap time, he nearly done a 49. And then unfortunately he crashed towards the end of the race, but before that I was bringing the gap out more and more. Like I said, I was just trying to maintain it, and I'm pretty happy with obviously P2 and P3. And the P2 in the sprint is actually my best result in the sprint races. Every sprint I have done so far, I've either been in an incident or crashed myself, and then from there I've just lost rhythm. But yeah, oh, and one thing, back to the VTR thing, I do not know how he didn't crash when he went for that move and he touched the grass. But other than that, just well done to everyone who got podiums today.
Congratulations on another podium finish. And now we go to the race victor, which is none other than VTR. 100% win record so far in season 12. Utter dominance. The sprint you had to work a little bit harder for due to a worse start compared to the main race, but just sum up how this weekend was for you.
Overall, the races were good today. As always, I didn't have to push as much as I needed to. Obviously, I think I had a bit more pace in the tank, but just wanted to be a bit more safe. I couldn't push to like my very max because I was scared of crashing. In the sprint race, it was fine. But in the main race, in like the last like 5-6 laps, I was actually, you couldn't see. I don't know how I was still gapping the Hoodie car, but I actually had a problem towards the end of the race. I think where we've been playing for like a few hours or so, for some reason, with my hand placed on my controller, my pinky finger on when I was holding the acceleration, it was really hurting. So when I was holding the throttle down, so I was really struggling when applying the throttle, and it was so painful. So every now and again I had to like let off a little bit. It was I was really struggling towards the end, and I was having a few problems. So I was scared of crashing towards the end, and it was a bit of a struggle. But I managed to get away and hold it. Hold the position, stay out front. But yeah, hopefully this doesn't happen again next week, because it could be a problem. Yeah, it is quite painful and I was struggling. So, but yeah, overall it was a good race, and I'm happy for Craig again. 2 podiums, it's very solid. Hoodie car back up there again is good. Jack slightly further down this week, but it's still not a bad result. He still sits 3rd in the championship, and I think Finley, just once he gets a bit more practice in, he can get further up the order. But I'd say my real MVP for today is Howling. His pace was really strong today, and I think he deserved the positions he got, and I hope for more for him next week and the future rounds. He looked really good today.
Yeah, so congratulations on another fantastic weekend, and let's see if anyone can stop you in the next one.
Potentially, but pull some off.
So that's been it for round number 3. We have the roller coaster for round 4 next week, and can anybody beat VTR? We'll find out. Goodbye.